my gosh, I just really love wipe. It's such a great time to be alive in the world of Tarkov when wipe happens, not just for content, but just for that fresh start. And I know it's bittersweet. I know there's a lot of people that don't really appreciate wipe and hope that it never comes back, but I'm not one of those people. Today's video, I'm gonna be going over 15 tips to help you guys early wipe, and hopefully they will help you be successful. Let's talk about it. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the X-Filled Hideout. My name is Ghost. If you guys have never been here before, I'm super excited you guys are here. Today's video is going to be exciting because yesterday we dropped a video that is talking about the best guns to use in early wipe. Today is going to be 15 tips to help you guys be successful in early wipe. But before we get into the video, I do stream every single day on Twitch, including today and tomorrow and the next day, except for Sunday. So every day except for Sunday, 4 to 5 a.m. PST. My stream schedule will be a little bit more extensive because of wipe just dropping, so we're going to be doing longer and streams more often. I would love for you guys to stop by the stream. I think you'll have a great time. Also, if you guys find these videos to be valuable, make sure that you guys smash the like button because it does go a long way for the YouTube algorithms. And if you want to see more Tarkov content like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and you can always hit the bell if you want to be notified when videos go live. Let's get into this video. All right, guys, we are jumping right into it with the very first tip, and that is learn maps offline. The reason why this is one of the greatest tips, in my opinion, is because in the beginning of not just wipe, but in the game, map knowledge is so important. Map knowledge will win you fights. Map knowledge will get you loot. Map knowledge will help you survive. So if you're walking around in Tarkov and you don't really know a map that well and you're just completely lost, map knowledge is what you're going to want to focus on. So with that being said, you're going to get your PMC. It's very simple. You're going to choose your map. We're going to go to customs. You're going to choose a time. We're going to go 11 o'clock a.m. and next. So in here, instead of hitting next right away, what you're going to do is you're going to put enable offline mode for this raid. This is going to allow you to check places for your quests. This is going to allow you to go into the raid and fight scavs and practice your aim. The only problem with offline mode is nothing counts, which is not really a problem, but just so you guys know that there's nothing that counts. Even if you complete something or you kill a boss or something like that, you get an item, nothing counts. It's just purely for learning, and right, it's just a tool. You could do random weather conditions if you don't want it to be raining or something. You could do random time. You could enable PvE, and in this screen, you can make the AI difficulty as online, and then accordingly, you could do random, impossible. You can make the amount. You could do horde mode and just practice all of your headshots. You can make yourself tagged and curse, enable bosses, or create a scav war that you can participate in. We're going to be just doing offline to show you how to basically look at the map and a couple of things. You're just going to press next, and you're going to load into the raid. I would say the most efficient way to learning maps offline is to grab a second monitor, your phone, a tablet, laptop, anything that you can have a screen on, and you're going to pull up a map just like this, and look at, the legend right here shows all the wooden crates are this mark, all the loose loot is right here, all the dead bodies are here, the key spawns are right here, computers, filing cabinets, and you can buried caches. So look at all these white dots are buried caches, right? So you use this and you're able to sit, okay, I'm gonna go to dorms. We have third story right here, we have 2 story right here, and I know directly across from dorms is skeleton building, which is by the new area, which is where stronghold's at. Down a little bit is where the gas containers and old construction is. This is the main bridge. This is Big Red. Little by little, not only are you learning the call outs, but you're learning the details of the map and what is relevant to what. There's also a dorms guide. This is actually a very good one on Tarkov Tools. You can find these in our Discord. You can find maps, links below, and also Map Genie IO. And then there's people who just create them. They create their own versions of the maps, whether you want a stash guide or any of that type of stuff. So definitely use one of these maps. Like I said, whether it's on a second screen, your phone, it doesn't matter. As long as you pull this up, and then what you do is you start looking around the map with this up, and you're like, okay, this is this, and there you go. Tip number 2 is learn secret stashes, or where the hidden caches, your stashes, whatever you want to call them, learn where they are on the maps. So you're gonna find these little areas that are going to have items in them. This is not only one of the best ways to make money early wipe, but you can get crazy rare items in here. Look at first one, we already have a streamer item. We can grab these if we wanted to. And basically, you're going to learn where these are so that when you're just in the map, right? Say you're going to go towards gas station, you know, hey, before I go to gas station, I'm going to hit this little stash real quick and see if there's anything in it. This is so good for early wipe. all the stashes on customs, all the stashes on interchange. Just so you guys know, I do have videos already with them up. So if you guys want to check out those videos, I think they'll bring you a lot of value. If you guys are in my stream, you just use !customs, !interchange, and you guys could check out some more of these stashes. And really quickly, this is the what I was talking about when I said that the little circle is the buried cache. So we were up in this area and we're gonna see all these little circles. These are all hidden caches. You can literally follow them from one spawn to the other. Tip number 3, and one of the most important tips for early wipe, is use your scav. Utilize your scav runs. When you come into the first screen, you can choose 2. One is your PMC, which is your main character and everything that you've been working hard for, you can possibly lose in a single raid. And then you have your scav, which is a free RNG style run that you have random items in here. You could have really rare items in here. You could have a weapon that you could use, but the purpose of a scav is a couple things. You can use it to loot and make money. You can use it if you have no money and you're just trying to get another gear set or kit. You can really use it for whatever you want. You can do stash runs. You can find quest items. You can use it for so many different things. So definitely utilize your scav runs. You can basically in the beginning do it every 20 minutes. And as you continue to upgrade your hideout, you can do it every, I think as low as like 8 minutes maybe. So definitely utilize your scav runs, and scav runs are super fun. Tip number 4, examine everything. Now this is one of the more, I would say, vital tips. And there's 2 reasons. One, you can get easy XP. So right here, you're going to basically go to all the traders and you would be at level 1, right? Because you just started, and these would be blacked out. All you're going to do is you're going to hit middle mouse button over them and it basically examines the item. That way it shows up for you, or else any item that you haven't looked at yet in Tarkov, you basically can't use. It's not functional to you, right? So that's why this is also really important, not just because of the easy XP. You can literally get to level 2 or 3. I think it's like halfway through level 2 without even leaving and doing anything but examining stuff. But the other reason why you want to do it is because when you go into raid, if you haven't examined items yet and you kill somebody, right, and they have magazines you haven't ID'd, they have a rig you haven't ID'd, they have all that stuff, you have to do it before you can pick it up. You can't just like pick up their items and then go examine it in a safe spot. So if you kill someone, it's very dangerous and you probably won't get the loot. Also, things like, for instance, if you examine a gun but you don't examine the magazines, you can't reload your weapon. If you don't examine different types of ammunitions, you can't use those ammunitions in your weapons. So basically, all of that to say that there's a couple reasons why, for functionality and so that you can get that easy experience. Tip number 5, heal and stash. Instead of paying therapists at the end of every raid, you're gonna have an option to pay therapists to heal your guys, like if you die or if you get hurt. What I would recommend is if you find a grizzly in raid, because you're not gonna be able to buy it at a low level right in early wipe, but if you find a grizzly, I do this for a reason. You guys have asked about this all the time. It's a good way to get a lot of experience in the beginning, sometimes hundreds of experience just by healing in your stash. The other thing that you could do is you could use Saliwas if you craft them. You could use the car first aid kits once you unlock them after you turn in the 3 Saliwas to a therapist. So you can use pretty much anything you want to heal yourself, but I find that this is going to give you the most value. And then also to heal yourself with a grizzly most of the time is actually cheaper than healing yourself with therapists every single raid. Tip number 6, search all jackets. Jackets have a very awesome chance to spawn rare keys, and early game, there is so much you can gain from getting good keys, not just because of spots, because of quests, but because some of these keys, just by simply finding them, are worth millions of rubles. And so you definitely want to be searching all of these jackets. If you guys want to find all the jackets in dorms, for instance, where we're at right now, there is a ton of jackets between 3rd story dorms and 2nd story dorms. I have a guide on complete dorms loot on the YouTube channel, so be sure to check that out and make sure you never pass up a jacket without looting it. So tip number 7 is you want to have a game plan. You want to have an objective, so that way you're just not going into each of the raids cluelessly wandering around like, well, maybe I'll find this, and if I find this, and maybe we'll just see what happens. Like, there's times where you can do that, but I would definitely say early wipe, if you want to be the most successful, have a game plan. Have some sort of direction that you want to go in, have some sort of objective you want to complete. I need the streamer item, so I'm gonna hit stashes. I need a gas analyzer, so I'm gonna hit filing cabinets. I need a special key for a quest, I'm gonna hit jackets. I need scav kills, I'm gonna prioritize scav kills. And so that way, every single raid, you can kind of like complete your mission and then extract, and then it's a win, versus like wandering all over the map and kind of like going to and fro and hoping that you complete something. You can do it that way, especially if you're a veteran player, but if you're a newer player, it's gonna take you a lot longer to level up, and it's gonna cost you a lot more deaths if you're just wandering around without any type of direction. So have an objective, have a game plan, and it definitely will make you more successful. Tip number 8, choose 2 guns and stick with them. The reason why I say this, I actually say this in my PvP guide as well, is because I'm a very strong believer that you can obtain muscle memory and you can obtain being comfortable, which will ultimately win you more fights and help you survive more often, whether it's against scavs or against players. And that is, we have this habit, I'm talking about myself as well, where if we tend to do bad with what we have, even if it wasn't the gun's fault and it was something that we did, like we were in the wrong position, we didn't see where somebody was, we were going too fast, we were moving too slow, and then there's just things you just can't help, we'll change weapon. All right, I'm not doing good with the AKM, I'm gonna go to the MP5. I'm not doing good with the MP5, I'm gonna go to the SKS. I'm not doing, and you just keep doing it over and over. But what happens with this is you never actually get comfortable with any weapon. You're just kind of like 10% good at some of the weapons. So what you should do is be 80% good at a couple weapons and then like, you know, smaller percentages on the other weapons until you start to get comfortable, and then you can broaden your quiver of weapons, and that way you are more successful, not just in fights, but in just surviving. You want to be able to get used to the hip fire. You want to be able to get used to the recoil patterns. You want to be able to get used to the gun attachments. And it's really hard to do that if you're always switching up what you're using. So find something, right? Use a couple guns, find something you really like and stay using it. Maybe add 1 or 2 more guns to that and just continually use those. And I guarantee you will have more success than always switching up your weapons. Tip number 9 is you want to upgrade your hideout. The reason why I suggest upgrading your hideout early on is because when you begin to upgrade your hideout, it gives you access to crafting some of the best ammo in the game. So you're able to use better ammo than people who are just buying from trader or using the luck that they find it in raid. And I shouldn't usually say luck, because there is actual spawns for certain ammos that you can typically find all the time, but you can craft it, you can craft more of it, and you can craft it for cheaper. So good ammo, meds, because in the beginning you're very limited on what meds you have. You can also craft your quest items. So for instance, if I wanted to craft Saliwas in the beginning for my found in raid, which is dope because when you craft something, it keeps the found in raid status. So unless they change that in this upcoming, in the wipe that we're in right now, I can craft Saliwas right here, and I can turn these right into therapists to finish the quest, to unlock the car kit. And you can also craft defibs, you can craft stims. There's just a lot of things that you can craft, and I definitely think it's worth it to start upgrading your hideout. I would say the top 3 are going to be laboratory, med station, and probably workbench. Tip number 10 is probably one of the biggest tips I can give you guys, and we got into this all wipe recently. Every single time I drop a gun build that is more of a meta build, one of the key components of a lot of meta builds and a lot of good parts in general is Peacekeeper 3. Now the controversy is that Peacekeeper 3 can actually be unlocked at level 18. So you're thinking to yourself, level 18, that's really not that far into wipe, you can do it pretty soon. But the problem is he's locked behind some challenging quests given to you by Skier. Once you complete those, you can unlock Peacekeeper as early as level 18, and this is level 3 right here. Just take a look real quick at all the different things. You have good ammo, you have 60 round magazines, you have some of the best suppressors in the game, you have a lot of meta in-slot items in Peacekeeper 3, so it's definitely worth it. I would definitely keep doing your Skier quests as much as you can. You're gonna do Friend from the West Part 1, Friend from the West Part 2, and then after Friend from the West Part 2, you're gonna be able to meet Peacekeeper. You're gonna start knocking out some of Peacekeeper's quest lines to unlock Peacekeeper level 3. So tip number 11 ties right into tip number 10. What I would recommend is, I know that there's a lot of people that recommend to make money, and if you absolutely need to make money and can't another way, sell your dog tags. But if not, I would recommend that you actually keep your dog tags if they're a USEC dog tag. The reason why is because you need to kill 7 USECs and find 7 PMC USEC dog tags and turn them in for Friend from the West Part 1. You need Friend from the West Part 1 to complete Friend from the West Part 2, which is what you need to unlock Peacekeeper. And it's that important to me that I would say try to figure out any other way to make money so that you can keep your 7 dog tags so that you can try to for sure unlock them at level 18. Tip number 12 is use the best ammo that you can possibly use. I know that early wipe, it's kind of hard to always be using the best ammo. I don't mean use all of the meta ammo right in the beginning, but I do mean spend more money on ammo than you do on kitting up your guns. If you have to decide between a foregrip and good ammo, get the good ammo and leave the foregrip behind. I'm telling you right now, good ammo wins way more fights than kitted out guns. Most of the time, if you kit out a gun and you have bad ammo, you're just going to be handing over that gun to somebody else, because if somebody has better ammo than you, they're most likely going to win the fight. So there's ways you can craft it, there's ways you can find it, but ultimately, you just want to make sure you're using the best ammo possible. Also, in the Discord, if you guys are already in there, you already know, we have multiple different types of ammo charts that are always, No Food After Midnight does one, and there's another person that does one, and they're always up to date with what ammo is what, so that you can check the stats of the flesh damage, the pen damage. So if you've ever heard people talking about like what's the pen, what's the flesh, all of that is on a chart that is always updated, so that way you know what ammo is good and what ammo is trash. Tip number 13, this is also absolutely huge, and that is use rigs for storage. I actually have another video all about hacks on how to create more space, especially if you didn't buy the EOD version and you just have the minimal amount of space. But I want you to check this out real quick. Something like the LBT rig, something like this MPPV rig, look at all these slots in comparison to the space that it's taking. Well, you can't see it like that, but I'm gonna show you the LBT. This rig right here is a 3x3 rig, so it takes up this much space. Do you guys notice something? This is 2 of these, which means this rig holds double the amount of space it sits in. So you can use this in your backpack when you're looting. That way you get double the amount of space, or you can keep it in your stash. And the cool thing about rigs is, you know, hey, I want my LBT rig to have all of my streamer items. I want my other MPPV rig to have all of my grenades in it. I want this rig to have all of my keys in it. I want this rig, and you can strategically categorize things in your stash to be more organized, know where things are, but also literally give you double the amount of space. Look at this. All that space, and this rig is just chilling in your stash. Tip number 14, get Lucky Scav Junk Box quickly. Make it one of your first priorities. That way you can hoard items that you need later for quests, items that you need for barters, items that you need for crafts. You're gonna run out of space. I'm telling you right now, especially early wipe, things get chaotic. You want this. You can either trade it for Therapist level 2. You can trade it for 100 dog tags, which I know sounds like a lot, but it's achievable. Or you could buy it for, I think it's about 2 million rubles, which is also achievable. And what it's gonna look like, it's absolutely insane. This slot right here, a 4x4 slot, as the same size as some of the rigs we get. Look at how much space is in here. Look at how much space is in here. I'm telling you guys, this is going to be an absolute lifesaver. You definitely want to aim for getting a Lucky Scav Junk Box. Tip number 15 is be patient, don't get frustrated, and enjoy the journey. Tarkov is not just a game. The Tarkov is an experience. I know that it can be very, very punishing. It could be very, especially like coming in new to the game and you haven't really played a game that implements the same type of like hardcore mechanics in Tarkov. I'm telling you guys right now, you're gonna die. You're gonna die a lot. You're gonna lose some of your best items. You're gonna grab one of the rarest things and you're not gonna be able to get out of raid with it. There's going to be mistakes that are going to happen. There's going to be days where you're so broke, you have to keep running your scav over and over and over. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's one of the most rewarding games that I've ever played. You just have to be patient. Don't get too frustrated. If you are, play something else for a little bit. Take a little breather, take a break, come back with a fresh mindset, and make sure that you enjoy the journey. You don't have to rush to Kappa and do all the things you see streamers doing, all the things you see everybody else doing. Play the game at your own pace, enjoy the beautifulness that Tarkov brings, and I promise you, you'll have a good time. Thank you guys so much for watching another video. That's gonna go ahead and wrap up this video. I hope that these 15 tips help you in early wipe become successful. If you guys found some value in this video, make sure you smash that like button because it does go a long way for the channel. And if you guys want to see more Tarkov content like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and you can always hit the bell if you want to be notified when videos go live. Just so you guys have a heads up, I am going to be putting out a lot of content, especially now that we're in wipe season. So I would definitely subscribe if you want to see more videos that are going to hopefully bring you value in the early wipe. I stream every single day on Twitch, so I would love to see you guys by the stream sometime. We really have a really good time in the morning, hanging out, going over stuff, talking about some of this stuff live. Grab some caffeine and come through. I hope you guys are very blessed. I hope you have an amazing day or night, depending on where you're at in the world. I hope that this wipe doesn't beat you up too bad and you begin to enjoy the journey of Tarkov. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.